Okay, so good evening. So today we will see about pandas functionalities in very deep. So it's like we will taking two data sets, like two files, and we will work on how we can use pandas. So and how we can do the analysis on that data sets. Uh, so uh, when we say data sets, it's like any file. For example, let me show you like weather data or like squirrel sensors, or we can get whatever the data we have. So if we open this, it's taking time. So if you see here, we have only three columns, and we have so first it's like we say the first is like header. Generally in a data frame, when we load it in pandas data frame, we generally say it as a header, and all these are rows. Generally we refer to as columns. A, B, C are the columns. So what we refer to that. So generally in pandas there are two types of data structures. One is like core data structure, like series data structure, and another is like data frame. Generally we most of the time we work on data frame data structures only. So it's like a two-dimensional data what we are seeing here, like a day data condition. So it's like a rows and columns are having. But for example, if we just take only one column, so this is like a series. So data frame is, you can again say it's a combination of multiple series data structures. But when there is a single array, so like a single column in a spreadsheet, so it's like we call it as series data frame, like series data structure. So but generally if we have rows and columns, then we will call it as data frame. So it's like a spreadsheet what we are seeing now, and or the SQL table. So in SQL table also there will be column names and rows of that. So yeah. So now we will go to the key concepts, how we load the data and how we do the data exploration and cleaning. So let's see. So generally if you want to open the same data, we can open it in multiple ways. So here we have let me just comment this out. So here what we are doing, we are opening with only just file methods what we have seen already. So with open whether data.csv, what are the file we have kept in the same location, like pandas deep dive. In this location only we have kept if we kept any other location, we have to give the total path. So if we have the having the data file at the same location where our Python script is there, it will actually read from the same location. But if we if that data file is not there, then we will get the error. So it's like we are opening and we are reading lines. So and when we are printing the data, let's see what will happen. Oh, sorry, full file path, because I have not given full file path. No search. Okay, it is. Okay, okay, because we are running from this thing, so either we need to give the total path for the weather.csv or we need to go to this execution location. So now if you see, it has read the data like date, temperature, condition, like with slash n is the new line. So Monday, so it has read all the like row by row, like whatever when we open the CSV file, it will be like I'm just opening Notepad++. So similar thing, it has written slash n is the new line. So when we read the file, we can read, but to do any analysis, and it's very difficult to do with the straight when we are doing like this, just opening and reading lines. But if you want to get some filtering, like I want only sunny days, or I want only rainy days, so it's like the data is itself, right? So sunny, rain, cloudy, sunny. So if you want to filter it out, it's we need to do some extra uh, listings, like a list slicings, and then we need to do the some extra codings. So instead of that, we can use another library, and this is again import CSV is like just move this out. So this is also the default library which will be installed on Python when we install Python. So just again we are reading the same with open and data. We are using CSV, the reader method from the CSV library. So it's like from math dot square root, similar kind of stuff we are doing CSV dot reader, and we are giving this data file to this reader, CSV reader, and we are creating temperatures empty list, and then we are looping over to get all the temperatures into a list. So it's like again we are doing the similar kind of stuff. Again we are writing for loop, and then if row 1 not equal to temperature, then because we want only temperatures, so it's like we have seen. So we don't want this, but we want only numeric values. So that's why what we have did, we have given if row of 1 not equal to temp, then we are appending all that remaining into the temperatures list. And then we are printing the temperature. So again, just, so now we are getting 12, 14. So this is, if you see again, for doing this we need to write multiple things, and it's a little bit complicated, right? So we have to use for loop, and then inside that we have to use uh, uh, like conditionings, and then we need to call append method. So if we want to do the same operation, let's see how we can do. So now just I am commenting this out. Now we will be using pandas. Now let's see. So now we are using a pandas method library. So this by default it won't come pre-installed. We need to install it from pip conda installers package installers. So pip install pandas. It will install the latest pandas library. So now what we are doing, we are just pandas. directly instead of pandas, we actually general notation is read CSV. So it's like just I'm using alias. Now what we are doing, just we are reading the total data into a data frame, and see now if just we are checking what is the type of data, like a type we already seen what exactly the data type it will return, and then what exactly the data type of this temperature it will return. Now if you want only if we want something like we want all the temperatures uh, into an list format, what we have did instead of using this, we can directly use this toList method of the temperature column, so it will convert it to a list. Here we are converting total pandas data frame into a dictionary, so we can use toDict method, so which will convert the data frame what we have loaded into the pandas directly into the list. So let's run it. Okay. So now it's like we have giving the Python. So if you see the data frame, what we are typing like type of data frame is like the data frame what we loaded. So we have already discussed in pandas only there are two types of data structures, data frame and series. So whatever the we have loaded to using this read CSV method, that data variable is a data frame. So it's like pandas data frame. If we are checking the same of one column, then it is a series data, like series data structure. So again, just we are converting this to a dictionary, like for example, yeah, like it's like a day and then key value pairs, right? So it's like for day of the first index Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's like it is saying the index values, like for example. So if you consider as a list, so it's like the temperature column and then the first index, uh, it is like 12, like 14. So again, if you go back here, date, temperature, condition. So here the first index is like Monday, Tuesday, similar kind of stuff. So it is converting with index notation, like a zero at the zero index, it is like 12 is the value for the temperature column. So similarly, the condition is like sunny, and then it's like we are printing only length. So it's like we have got nine directly. So like seven, sorry. So if you want to print directly list, and if we print directly the data frame also, so the data frame whenever we read a data into a data frame, so it will come with the index. So let's see how the data frame will look like. So if you see here, so these are the column names, date, header, you can say header, where there are column names, day, temperature, condition, and we have index. So for first index, it starts generally index starts from 0. So for first index for the day column, it is like Monday. The temperature is 12. The condition is the similar kind of notation what we have seen in the dictionary. when we convert the data frame into dictionary, it is doing that. So now we are printing, instead of length, we are directly printing the list what we have stored from the temperature column. So it's very easy, like if you know what exactly to use, and instead of using this multiple for loops and if loops, the pandas will give us the very useful functionality, and within you don't need to rewrite the code again. So it's very easy, and it depending on our requirement, it can have multiple options. So now if we go back, so now it's like we have not seen, only we have read, and we have just used different methods. We have did analysis on that. So now, so all this, so for example, just let us see df.head what it will give. So it's like data, and the notations generally we call it as df underscore data frame or something. Df is like data frame. General notations in when we read any data into a data frame, we consider as df is the variable. So if I print, dot describe. So now generally when we call df.head, it will give us only the first 5 rows. So if you see it's 0 to 4, so how much data frame you are having. So when we call the head function, it is like only uh, first 5 rows it will display. We will have tail also, like it will display like last 5 rows. And when we call the describe method on the data frame what we have loaded, it will give what exactly depending on numerical columns. So it will give the statistical information. So I think we have already seen before. So what is the count, what is the mean, what is the standard deviation, what is the minimum value, what is the 25% of that value, 50% of that value, and what is the maximum value. And this describe method is only applicable only on the uh, numerical columns. So if I go back again, now again the same thing we have seen. Instead of describe, you want only mean of that or the maximum value of that. So you can call directly these functions like methods. Like on the column, I want the mean of that column. So I want the maximum value in that column. So yeah. So let's see now this commenting this. Now in the describe method, so instead of calling this, we can call this methods also. Now if you want only the data in the condition column, so it's like the condition column here. So, so it's like you can call it in two types, like data uh, the column name in square brackets, or you can call with the dot notation also. So data dot condition, so it will call both will work in the same way. So similarly, if you want a row data, like in the row, if you want some in column name, So if for example the same thing like in the day column where I want rows equal to having Monday, I want all the data. So it's like if you see we are calling this data of a day equal to Monday. So instead of that what we can do, because let's see how this works. I am calling condition equal to Sunny. So here we have one, two, three, four rows, right? So now, so we are giving a condition column in the temperature column. When the temperature is equal to max, then we want that rows to display. So let's see how this will display. So for example, I am just commenting this, and now I am running. So it's again it's what it's like when we get a row value like equal to Monday, and then from the Monday temperature we are getting Monday dot temperature. So it's like we are filtering. It's like so similarly here we are filtering and then we are doing the our own uh, calculation. So just we are getting int of May dot temperature, and then we are converting it in Fahrenheit, and we are displaying. So it's like it will apply on the total data frame. For example, if there are four rows, then it will apply on the four rows where the day equal to Monday. So we will do that calculation also. So for example, now let's see. Okay, so where I haven't line 44. Sorry. So here, okay. So it's like we are printing the same no temperature like mean of the temperature and maximum value, and then we are printing two columns like by two different ways, like using dot notation and using directly the filtering via a square bracket notation. And then we are actually what we are doing, we are applying a condition like where condition equal to sunny. So we got all the four conditions like all the four rows like Monday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday are sunnies, and we got all the filter data frame. And again here it's like why it has filtered Sunday. So is there any where we are printing? Okay, now okay. Yeah, now we are printing the maximum temperature, right? So the maximum temperature is like 24. That's why we are printing this one. So now we are just converting this a single day, right? So what if we have given the same condition now just what we are doing. So here we have got one value, but for Sunny we have four records, right? So then what we need to get, we will be getting four values which are converted into Fahrenheits. So it's like now we got 53.6, but we will get different like 1, 2, 3, 4 values. Let's see. Okay, so it's like it is saying it cannot convert it in 10 because we are calling the total, because here what it had for Monday option it is having only one value, but when we are filtering with Sunny options we are getting four, which is like Pandas data frame, like Pandas series frame, so that we cannot use directly this int of method. We need to use either as type or pan pd2 numeric method. So let's see if we can use. So generally in Python for type conversions, we need to use this type of notation like as type. So let's see whether we are able to convert. So generally if it is a pandas data structure, uh, the implicit type conversion what we are doing with int of, right, it won't work. So for pandas data structures we need to use this as type method, or for there will be different pd to numeric, there's another method. So generally maximum of the time we can use as type method, so that it will apply on all the series, like. But if it is having only a one like a one value only, then you can use int of, but if you want to apply on all the pandas series or pandas data frame, then you need to apply this type of as type of function. Now just I am undoing that. Now, so if you go back, there are multiple things like, for example, we see in describe. So it's like how for all the null values, what is the sum? So for example, there are it's like you want to count how many null values are there in I mean, in a data frame or in a column. Like for example, if we have this one, like if there is no value and it's like empty, right? Then it is considered as a null value. Then if you want how many such type of values are there, so to get that values, we will be using this df is null and dot sum is like adding up like 1, 2, 3. So if there are four values, you will get four null values are there. So it's like again, if you want to drop all that null values, it will drop all the columns. And then if you want fill that values with a default value, for example, if there is no value and we need to fill with some zero or any empty value, generally when you load a data into this pandas data frame, if there is an empty value, it will actually replace NaN values, which is called as not a number. So at that time, if you want to fill that NaN values with the empty again, you need to call this method. So it will fill with all the empty values. Otherwise, if you want to fill with NA values with some 0 or any other value, default value, then we will be calling this method. And here we can rename the column names also, like, so just I am not showing everything here. You can do, and these are the different type of filterings what we have done. Like if you want to value, as of now we have filtered equal to, right? Even on some column names, if you want for temperature column, if the temperature is greater than 10 or less than 10, so similar kind of data selection filtering, and like group by, if you want to sort the data in for, depending on a column name, yeah, you can do that. So all this kind of stuff you can check. And so I'm not showing here, but you can obviously try. So where you can try that, I will show. Like here, what are the common applications of pandas? So it's like for data cleaning and preparation, exploratory data analysis. So as of now, what we are doing is an exploratory data analysis and data manipulations and transformations. So if you want to do some matrix kind of stuff like Jacobian transformations, or depending on different use cases, we can use the pandas data frame, like statistical analysis like mean, median. So and then machine learning process like financial data, like for example the banks need to do some analysis depending on which data, and scientific data also, like ISRO uses pandas, not the actual this pandas. ISRO having geo pandas, uh, different uh, I meant to say it is built on pandas only, but it's like for do geospatial analysis, like to check the data of for example moon data, or scientific data, moon scientific data. So they do with the help of this pandas only, geo pandas. So and then if you want to scrap a website and collect the data, so we will be using pandas along with different web scraping applications like Selenium or a beautiful soap in Python. We have very nice libraries for that. So now next comes the best part. So before that we will just finish off this. So yeah, just I'm commenting all this. So now what we are doing, it's like we are creating this is already we have seen where how we can create a pandas data frame using a dictionary, and this is the new method. So if you want to save data into data frame, so it's like we can use directly this 2CSV method. So but let's see how this data will be saved. For example, if we are showing like this, names, James, so students, like students and scores, and then like in student AMI, it will have 76 like that, right? So let's see. Okay, so installing, yeah. So because I have used alias here, so that's why I'm just replacing with pandas with PD. So it has created, so if you see the date modified, so it has created two. So just let's see new data.csv. So what it is doing, it is creating the data frame, but it is actually adding one index column also. So if we don't want this column, so just if we say index equal to false, so it will just store only the columns what we needed, like student scores. So if we need just student scores instead of index column, if I now again open the same, so now there is no index column. And it's like there are multiple options will be there. Just if we just so there are multiple options. For example, like user guide. Let's go to user guide. IO tools, CSV, read CSV. So for if you see, these are all the columns where we can use like this one. So it has this many options when we are reading a file into a data frame, pandas data frame. It is by default it will give you can give the separator. So for example, few are CSV is comma separated, right? There are few files where it will be pipe separated or tilde separated or tab separated. There are multiple files. So generally whatever in general we see it's like pipes like comma separated, but when in real time world there are multiple files with different separators. So at that time we need to use the separator. uh, in our case we use pipe separator the most. So and then separator and delimiter will one with the same. So header is like few if there is no columns names, then we will say like header equal to 0. So like engine and if you want to skip first few rows and first last few rows to load into data frame, and if you want to skip, it's like a vast thing like oh, and low memory equal to true is like when we have mixed data types in the same column, like then we need to use low memory, otherwise it will throw a warning message, use low memory equal to true. So that it will actually, when we say low memory equal to false, like general by default it will be true. When we say low memory equal to false, it will take more computational space and it will do the calculations on the mixed data frames. So like for example, column having both like a string and integers, or strings and like different date time kind of stuff, then it will this main thing work. So if we come back again, so now we are creating new data frame. So similarly again we are just loading another data into, let's execute into another variable, like another data frame variable you can say. So what we are storing, so how many count, like so now we want primary for color in the data frame, and then we are creating another data frame and we are just going to, so let's see what exactly we are having, how many squirrels are there in this. So there are multiple columns. Like if you see, it's like primary for color we are taking, and we want only. So in our case, what we are checking gray. So it's like 171 count is there. So when we open the same thing what we already did, so like we are storing that into a length variable. So primary for colors gray. Sorry, sorry, highlight for color. Sorry. I'm applied on different. We are checking on this, right? Primary for gray. So it's like 2474. So if we don't consider this column, so then it should be 2473. So what is the count? Similarly, when we have gone to cinnamon, so 393, so it should be 392. So and then similarly, if you check for black, it's like 104. So instead of doing opening all this data in Excel and going to the column names and so for example what I have did before, I have applied on wrong filter on this Excel because there are multiple columns. Uh, so it's like, so instead of doing that we are just focusing on the data frame what we have loaded, and then we are getting into the counts. So and then after that we are what we are doing, we are creating another data frame like for color gray count cinnamon black squirrels, and then we are storing it in squirrel. Now the next part, let's go. So it's Kaggle. Kaggle is actually Google owned platform. So here it's like for data science, to learn data science concepts and to do grow. So if you are really interested in data science career, so this is our go-to website. So it's like it's having very huge online courses and tutorials and notebooks and community discussions. So it's like if we go here, so let's see, it's my website. So I have created long back, but yeah. So you can actually learn, take a short course. There are different courses. So if you want certificate programming, if you want to learn Python, uh, uh, we are already learning, but you want certificate, right? To showcase or to showcase in any in our job opportunities, or this is the best platform we can say. So it has from starting the main starting to different very, I want to say, very advanced topics like deep learning, computer vision, time series analysis. Now it has AI and reinforcement learning. So all these are courses, and once you complete these courses you will get a certificate. So You can share it in LinkedIn and you can download it. So it's very useful website, and it's for mainly for data science careers. So it's not only limited to that, it's have multiple I meant to say multiple data sets. So you can download, can work on that, and you can just try to do all the analysis what we are did, like data analysis. So for example, series squirrel data, you can just just squirrel census. This is the what we have used, Central Park squirrel census. Which data from here we have downloaded this data. So all the data sets will have like from small to very large data sets, and which will be very useful for you. So if you want to really go into this data side, so it's very what I meant to say. It's very good website. So it is completely free. You don't need to pay or anything, uh, and it's having very vast community. So maximum of the data science projects will be stored here. So if you want to go into uh, like machine learning AI side, so there are multiple models. So it's like the Gemini API. Now the Google has launched the Gemini API, which is competition to ChatGPT 4. So it's like very huge. So they have provided the API. So for developers, if you want to use the power of Gemini model, like LLMs, we can say large learning model. This is one of the website. So not only this, so if you are very good and if you want, uh, you are a pro, you have got it pro. Here there are multiple competitions will be held. So they have give the challenges, and then if you try to crack the challenges depending on our approach and depending on our how you have coded and depending on our code. So these are the prize winners. So it's very I mean to say it's a real you mean to say it's not any fake, because this is actually hosted by Google only. So everything is Google owned. So yeah, but these are very I mean to say very difficult competitions. So but you can not only you can directly go into competitions, you can just start with getting started approaches for machine learning. So and all these are machine learning and open LLMs or different processes. So for example, so they are working on LLM detect AI generated text. So this is one of the use case. So we need to develop a model where the LLM will detect whatever other AI is generating the text, it should detect and it should say this is AI generated and this is human generated text. So they have given this one like in 2 months you merchant entry like yeah. So they will provide data also like models discussions. Yeah, it's totally a new world. So yeah. So it's like simple scenarios like learn and grow, and then it's like find data and collaborate. So you can share your own projects if you have developed different approaches for our projects, for our things. You can directly on them. So here and again you can use I meant to say Kaggle Jupyter notebooks. You can directly create a notebook and you can directly write our Python code here, and it will run on the cloud machines. So you don't need to install in our machine Python in our machine also. So by default, I mean to say, all the data science libraries will be installed on the. If you can request, here there are multiple documentations also available. How to install it, how to use the notebooks. So it not only support Python, it will support R also. R is another programming language which is mainly used for data science only. So and then you can actually build your portfolio once you have create your portfolio, and if you are doing that, and you can share your own notebooks and job. So when you are applying, so you can just share your Kaggle profile on the resume, so it will boost up your chances. So summary like learning platform, data playground. Yeah. So these are the links what we have just provided. So it's like website, and learn what are the data sets, computations, direct link, and some like machine learning tutorial for beginners. Yeah, I think that's it. After this, maybe going forward, I myself targeting to do some hands-on on this different data sets, and uh, do all the courses on this Kaggle website. Okay, then.